Hey love, I'm so glad that you were here. Today we're going to talk about something that I feel like once you figure out that this affects you, it is extremely hard to undo it. It touches almost all of us. I know that if you're anything like me, you want to be as far away from it as you can, and it is so incredibly hard to do so. We were all raised to be kind, to help others, and always be considerate. But somewhere along the way, that message got super twisted. We believe our worth is tied up in how much we help other people, on how much we give, and ultimately what we can do for others. We bend, we twist, we contort ourselves into a shape that genuinely isn't us, just to make sure that everyone is comfortable and happy. But what happens when that's our entire life? When every decision, every action is about pleasing somebody else, it becomes a cruel, toxic world. Slowly, we lose pieces of ourselves until we are just a shell, functioning on autopilot to serve everyone but ourselves. People-pleasing is a slow poison. It drains our energy, it eats away at us, eats away at our confidence, leaves us feeling unfulfilled and resentful. We tell ourselves that it's because we love those people, we love helping, we love being there for people. But I wonder, have you ever thought you're genuinely doing it out of fear? Fear of rejection, fear of not being good enough, and fear of being seen for who we really are, and that when people see that, we'll be all alone. Today I want to talk about how we break that cycle and how you recognize your worth, and then to not flip the script and be completely the opposite. Because if you followed me at all, you know that I'm sorry is not my jam either. My goal is to not create an army of selfish humans, but in fact, to help empower those who genuinely don't know how to do that themselves. I want you to realize that you have value, you have worth, and that you can use the kind nature, the empathetic person who wants to help other people in ways and directing it at people who will not take advantage of that. Recognizing the signs and understanding where your limits are so you can take care of yourself. Because I am the first person to tell you that being a people pleaser does genuinely make you so worn out and you have no idea what to do. Because if you stop doing everything, you genuinely fear that everyone's going to go away or that everybody will hate you. And I know, there's so many people out there that will say to you, just don't care. Just tell them no. Okay, sure. Get right on that. Because don't you think that if I knew how to do that, if that was something comfortable, that I would have already done it? If I'm aware enough to know that this is unhealthy and I don't want to do this, and then the advice is, well, then just don't do it. Okay. Sounds good. How? And the interesting thing is I have talked to people who are like that, who are like, fuck that, who cares, no one doesn't matter, who cares what other people think. And I have found two things. One, they don't actually think that. It's something they've put on top so that it's a barrier so that other people can't penetrate it. They are genuinely probably people pleasers as well, but they've taken an edge and tired of people taking advantage of them. And so instead of learning how to set real boundaries, they say, I don't care, and just kind of middle finger to the world. The second one, the people that say that don't know what that really looks like. And they don't do it. Because I do believe that when that advice is given, that person doesn't do it. Doesn't do it in a healthy way, doesn't do it in a way that actually you can uphold without just being an angry person all the time. I don't genuinely believe that that's something people should do constantly, because it doesn't help me to get super angry, middle finger to everybody, screw you. I'm not going to be able to do that. So even if I have the balls to, screw you, I won't be able to say it more than that one time. So my boundary that I just put up, that's not going to work, because to truly understand and break the habits of people pleasing, you have to do it a lot. And it's painful, and you have to tell people no and learn how you're actually doing it. Okay, rambling over. So how do you say no? How do you learn how to not rip off your skin and just keep on people pleasing for the rest of your life? Well, I'll tell you. Okay, number 1 is you have to figure out who you're talking to. When I was first figuring all of this out, I realized that I had put everybody on the same playing field. It didn't matter if it was my mom, my cousin, my teacher, my boss, the random grocery lady, the guy on the street flipping me off because he was having road rage. I don't know. Everybody was on the same level. And that right there has to be your first step. You have to know who you're talking to. Because if you don't understand that you're saying no to the guy at the grocery store, or the woman freaking out in a parking lot, or someone you don't know versus someone you love dearly, if you don't understand that it matters differently, then, like me, you have to start all the way back there and realize that when you're talking to somebody, you have to assess how much they mean to you. Because when you start setting boundaries and you start saying no, people start getting weird. And you have to assess, how am I going to help myself figure this relationship out or not if this goes awry? Because it will. Here's an example. The lady on the street freaking out can just be ignored. I don't have to roll the window down and be like, I'm so sorry. I don't know why you're upset, but I'm so sorry. Nope. Don't have to help her. She can be ignored. Okay? But if it's somebody you have to see every single day, like a coworker, a boss, your spouse, your parent, somebody, right? That you are now like, okay, I have to say no, and I have to tell them my feelings, and this might not go well. That prep looks different. That understanding and for me, the way that I come across, the delivery has to be a certain way. Because although I cannot control how people react, I can control how I deliver it. So if I deliver it in a way that I'm comfortable with and confident with, it matters less about how they perceive me, because I know I did it in a way that I'm proud of, right? So if you don't assess who you're talking to, there's no way that you're going to be able to figure out how to actually do it. Here's an example. If you have a coworker that is constantly having you do their work, right? And they are constantly like, oh, can you just please, just you're so good at it. Like, and you are up to here and you've already done all their work and they get all the credit and blah, all the things, right? And they ask you one more time. Before you get to the place where you lose your ever-living mind on them, think. If I tell them no and I say, no, and I lead with an example of saying, yeah, except for you had this excuse last week. I did that work and I have my own, so this is now yours. You have given yourself the reason that they don't get my time anymore. I did that for you. Cheerio to me, gold star. But that they don't, when they come back with, but like, I'm busy and and all the things that make you feel bad that's about to spout out of your mouth, remind yourself of the fact that you just told them, I already did this last week. And you had this same excuse, and you told me all the same things. And so, no, I'm not going to overdo myself because you aren't willing to work. Okay, remind yourself of this so that when all that comes at you, you have that inside of you, grounded, and that you're proud of the way you delivered it. Make sense? So let's recap already. 1, know who you're talking to. Does it matter, because you have to see them often, how your delivery works? 2, come at them at a place that you are confident, that you are proud of, and before you're about to explode. Because while you might get out what you actually think, the delivery will be, for a people pleaser, embarrassing. And I cannot tell you how many times that I waited until I popped off, exploded, and then I ended up apologizing because the delivery was embarrassing. I was either unprofessional, uncaring, said things that weren't technically what I wanted to say, and I felt bad. Then what happens is I apologize and they keep doing it. Because I feel bad, they feel like, oh, well, she feels bad. So let's just keep asking her for things. So before you pop off, do it before then. Okay? 2, the reason I tell you to do it in a way that you are proud of, I guess this is technically 3 because the proud of thing should be 2, whatever. So this is 3. When I tell you to do something that you're proud of, it's because when I was learning this, would do it the way that other people would say, and I would just do it like I didn't care and blah, blah, blah. And I could not repeat it. I could do it once. I had the baby balls, put my big girl pants once. Couldn't do it twice. Couldn't do it 3 times. Couldn't do it 4 times. And I ended up right back where I was. So I say it once. I'm proud of it. I can say it again. If you don't say something that you are proud of, that you are grounded in, that you are confident in, you won't be able to actually set the boundary and say no, because you are in your head thinking, I shouldn't have said it that way. Oh my gosh, I hate that I said it that way. Blah, 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 blah. And you're sitting there wasting all your energy on that instead of holding your ground. Don't do it. Say it in a way before you pop off, because number 3 is you're going to have to repeat this constantly. I mean, I think the average that I have had to say things like this is 7 or 8 times. And I've had to say it the exact same way. You are repetitive, which is number 4. Say it the same way over and over and over. Here's an example. If you are trying to co-parent with a toxic ex and they are constantly getting you wrapped up in their bowl while you're swapping kids or you're having an interaction that you have to have, I am constantly telling my clients, repeat, repeat, repeat. Don't rephrase. Don't jumble up the words. Say it again, say it again, say it again in the same tone, the same 5 words over and over and over. Here's an example. Your ex says something that triggers you. Okay, you're the mom, he's the dad. Well, why would you do that? That makes you a bad mom. Because that triggers a lot of us. Someone calls me a bad mom, I lose my mind. So during the swap of the kid, they say that, and all of a sudden you're like, I'm not a bad mom, you're the bad dad, because you haven't done all these things. And then you start thinking, I should then tell them all that stuff. Nope. What you should do is say, sorry you feel that way. I will see you at next drop off. That's it. See you at next drop off. Hug your kids. Peace out. And I'm doing a whole thing on parenting with that and how to talk to your kids and all the things. Puppy. Hi, Oscar. But there's my 4. That's how you start. Ready, set, go.